Niger as ECOWAS begins to implement sanctions against the military junta. Ironically, the drivers say other goods such as tomatoes, bananas, yams, and cattle are allowed to cross the border, while onion trucks coming from Niger are not allowed. Well, the unrest in Senegal continues 4 days after it started. The people there say they will not allow the ruling government to take military action against Niger in line with Western policies. They added that the complex and rapid developments in West Africa have confused everyone, and they have to wait to see if in other countries of the sub-regions, with the intervention of the American and European intelligence agencies, they will succeed in keeping the dependent government in power, or if the military will support the protesting people. They vowed to take action to save their country from domination of the West. Well, for more on this, let's welcome in Professor Vladimir Danso, who is an international relations and security expert, for more concerning the insecurity within the sub-region. Prof, many thanks for your time. Now, I want to find out from you what your take is on the coup in Niger, and if it does send any signal to the sub-region. You recall that since 2020, we've seen about 4 coups in the sub-region with 2 coup-failed attempts. What do you make of the current situation?
Thank you for having me. I strongly suspect that you recall a few months back, I predicted that Niger was a candidate for a coup, and it has happened. I can still go ahead and say that Senegal and Sierra Leone, the happenings over there are indications that anything can happen, that the generals may step in. What is happening must be diagnosed properly. These are not conspiratorial coups where adventurous sergeants, sergeant majors, and lieutenants just get up one day and say, let us also talk power small. No. These are coups that are coming as systemic coups, as I labeled them. Systemic in the sense that the system is imploding. Aridity, bad governance, and ungoverned spaces, economic hardships, and terrorism are clear manifestations of a state which is failing. And in that sense, the military is the only institution that can hold the country together. So if you watch those coups, these coups that are coming of late, they are kind of systemic coups. Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, and now Niger. These are coups where the military feels it needs to step in, other than that they are the ones who are suffering. They go to the war front and they don't return. And nothing is working within the country. If that situation happens anywhere in any of the West African countries, these things are bound to occur. Okay. So I wasn't surprised when Niger had the coup.
You say that it seems these were imploding from within. I want to find out from you what you make of those who say that, for example, in these Francophone countries, it as a result of Western influence, particularly French influence in these countries. And so they want to annex or break free from, this French colonialism in a way. Do you share that same sentiment as a result, in terms of breaking free from this?
Described are not monolithic or monoposal. Yes, that feeling of wanting to break away from the French yoke might be a variable. And yes, it is. Why? Because the French will quickly come in and think that it is their territory, the way they did in Mali in 2012. It is their territory, so they wouldn't want, other countries to come in. So they come in and then they allow, say, Europe, NATO to come on their side and America to come. But then these countries now feel that the French have not actually supported their interest, and that the failure of government in these French countries is because of the French attitude towards colonial governance. So it is a variable, but not the monocausal thing. It is not the main cause for those coups that we are observing.
Okay. Now, we also understand that there are some, with regards to what is happening in Senegal, we understand that the youth there are, against their government supporting actions against Niger. Do you think that this can also escalate into something else, as you're also seeing that, Senegal and Sierra Leone might also fall prey in this, times that we're seeing a lot of coups coming in from the sub-region?
Exactly. This is one of the considerations I'm looking at. And if you watch what is happening in Senegal, there is so much anti-French sentiment, especially that France is not saying anything to what is happening. When the president wanted a third term, France kept quiet. And then they themselves were able to be on the streets and force the president to rescind that decision. And yet the president is trying to make sure that the opposition does not replace him. And it has created a whole problem for the Senegalese people. And now Senegal wants to be part of the two contributing countries to go into Niger. And the people just feel that, no, this is not a way. Of course, technically, the government is right, and legally too, because it is part of ECOWAS. And if ECOWAS is going in, then they can go in. But then the people back home, if they don't support a military cause, any war where the people do not have a support for it will normally go to fail. Vietnam is a typical example. When you don't have the people supporting the war, it's not a popular war. So they will not support the war by anything they do. You can't get conscription, you can't get anything. So surely, Senegal must watch out. They must be very careful as to how they send troops. And again, in such a situation, when they fail in Niger, or when many of their countrymen die and the corpses are being brought, it can spark off some turmoil in the country. And all these things are variables to consider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, Prof, before I let you go, what do you make of ECOWAS, attempts to stabilize these countries? Do you think that, with sanctions that they are going in, that is the way to go to curb this coup or hand over power from the military junta to civilian rule? And also, does it serve as a warning or a sign for other countries in the sub-region to brace themselves for anything?
The point is that I think everyone needs to sit up and revise its notes. How many times have we not threatened, and how many times have we succeeded? How many times have we not put sanctions, and have we not threatened to do this, to do that? It is the people you hurt. And then when the people call your bluff, like Mali did call the bluff of ECOWAS, what has happened? It is an encouragement for any other person also to do whatever they would want to do. The point is, I strongly suspect that ECOWAS' mistake lies in the fact that we are not a unified entity yet like Europe. We don't have a standing army like Europe, like NATO. You see, we had a nascent community security force in ECOMOG, but we dissolved it. If ECOMOG were still in operation, then we could easily mobilize because they would have their own formations already in place, training and everything. All they need to do is to supply the troops and equipment. So we are going to reach there. We didn't do it. We dissolved it. Today, we are an array of individual countries wanting to do something together. So the best for ECOWAS, my advice would be to speed up the integration process and have a regional security kind of understanding. But now that we don't have that regional security understanding, each country wants to make sure that its security is assured by its military. This is the problem of ECOWAS. Now that we have the French-speaking countries, one way or the other, having a common kind of front, ECOWAS should be even more careful. If we fail in Niger, the repercussions are going to be dire.
Prof, I want to thank you so much for your time. You heard the Professor Vladimir Danso, who is an international relations and security expert, speaking to us there on the happenings in the sub-region. Let's still stay on the subject matter because the unrest in Senegal continues 4 days after it started. The people there say they will not allow the ruling government to take military action against Niger in line with Western policies. They added that the complex and rapid developments in West Africa have confused everyone, and they have to wait to see if in other countries of the sub-regions, with the intervention of the American and European intelligence agencies, they will succeed in keeping the dependent government in power, or if the military will support the protesting people. They vow to take action to save their country from domination of the West. Well, earlier I interacted with the head of the web team of West African Radio, Francis Boniface, who says calm has returned to Senegal after 2 people were killed in protests sparked by the arrest of opposition figure Ousmane Sonko.
For now, it's relatively calm. Ousmane Sonko was taken to court again over an infraction he had with the gendarme. So over there in court, they decided to remand him in custody for the meantime. So it's more like he's facing a new case, basically. Ousmane Sonko is a popular opposition figure here in Senegal. He's the leader of the PASTEF party, which is in coalition with the Yewi Askanwi coalition. The Yewi Askanwi coalition is one of the leading opposition coalitions in Senegal. Of course, he has had lots of legal troubles leading up to this.
Let's bring you some more stories this afternoon. And the Allen for President EFP campaign has raised concerns over the Special Delegates Conference register, which aspirants were advised to review and provide feedback on within a specific time frame. The campaign conducted an eligibility audit based on the register used for the last internal elections, uncovering several irregularities. For example, in the Upper East region, the campaign questions the replacement of the deceased Regional Research and Elections Officer Edward Nabil with Daniel Ziba, the General Secretary's directive not to modify the register until the next internal party elections adds weight to their concerns. Now, in the Central region, it also includes the names of deceased Infantiman chairman and founding member Kwesi Chere. Despite their ineligibility to vote, the AFP campaign seeks clarification on why these names remain in the register. The AFA4P, I beg your pardon, campaign urges the party leadership to take their concerns into account and address the identified issues in a timely manner to ensure a fair and transparent Special Delegates Conference. Now, still in politics, the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Stephen Ntim, has announced plans to establish a party school expected to be ready this year. Speaking at an MPP mentorship forum in Accra, Stephen Ntim said it is aimed at providing leadership training and promoting the party's vision of building a free and prosperous society.
For a decade now, the New Patriotic Party has trumpeted the need to have its own establishment dubbed the Party School. National chairman of the party, Stephen Ntim Ayensu, announced that the party's plans to establish the school will come to fruition before the close of 2023. According to him, the school will serve as a platform to equip NPP members aspiring for leadership positions within the party and in government with the necessary skills and knowledge, as well as making them responsible for conducting cutting-edge research to further the party's objectives. A national secretariat of the party school has already been secured.
As we speak, almost all the necessary preparations have been done. We have secured a national secretariat for the school. We have appointed a governing council and its chairman in the person of Right Honorable Mike Aaron Okwe, the immediate past Speaker of Parliament. The party has also appointed a rector for the school in the person of Professor Bonzi Simpson, the immediate past rector of Gimpa.
The Mentorship Forum is an annual event organized by the National Youth Wing of the party. The idea is to groom youngsters both within and outside of the party about the party ideology. National Youth Organizer of the NPP said the Youth Wing wants to bring more innovations into the party to attract floating voters.
Young people in this party, let's bring more innovation on board to ensure that we reach out to more young people who will continue to join this party and continue with the tradition. And that's how this beautiful concept was born, the Mentorship Forum, which will be a series. From here, we will be going to the Ashanti region, we will be going to the northern region, we will be going to the central region, we will be going to the upper east region, everywhere young people are.
And President Akufo-Addo on Thursday gave a speech on the Founders' Day, urging Ghanaians to honor the aspirations of the nation's founding leaders and work towards achieving the country's true potential.
Our nation commemorated the maiden edition of Founders' Day, a day set aside to recognize the contributions made by successive generations of Ghanaians across many decades to the liberation of our nation from the shackles of colonialism and imperialism, and the founding of the new nation-state of Ghana. Undoubtedly, fellow Ghanaians, that day, 4th August, is clearly the most appropriate day to signify our recognition and appreciation of the collective efforts of our forebears towards the founding of a free, independent Ghana. We should continue to celebrate this day accordingly. Today, 76 years later, and 66 years after independence, our nation is considered a beacon of democracy and stability in Africa, where the rule of law, respect for individual liberties and human rights, and the principles of democratic accountability are part and parcel of our governance structure. These are the very things for which our forebears fought. The battle our generation must fight and win is that of rapid economic development. We must set Ghana to rights and get our country to where it should be. The challenge before us remains to build a modern economy and thereby generate a prosperous, progressive, and dignified life for the mass of our people. Hard work, enterprise, creativity, discipline, and a consistent and effective fight against corruption in public life will bring the transformation we seek. I am confident that with a united will, we can achieve this in our lifetime. I wish all Ghanaians a happy Founders' Day, and may God bless us all in our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong.
Well, for more on this, let's welcome in Professor Samuel Dujemfi, a senior political science lecturer and analyst at the Commonwealth University of Science and Technology, for his thoughts on the President's Founders' Day message. Prof, many thanks for your time. Now, the President emphasized the importance of upholding the rule of law, respecting individual liberties and human rights, as well as embracing democratic accountability. From where you sit, where would you rate Ghana in terms of our accountability, our democratic accountability?
I think I'll rate it maybe 20 over 100 because we've now had leaders who are very much committed to the democratic ideals, what the democracy should bequeath to us as a people. Democracy should bequeath to us development. And Ghana is bereft of the color of development. We are bereft of a future that must be, gainful. It seems to me that we are in a certain state that is a state of comatose. We need to be resuscitated in spite of the jeopardy that our destiny seems to have hit or come to. It is also equally good to awaken ourselves from this slumber and be interested in re-engineering or reconstructing our path back to the landmarks of old, where we had African leaders who were conscious, especially Ghanaian leaders, who had a certain sense of consciousness, and self-consciousness existed or were founded on two legs. The legs for political emancipation and the other leg for economic emancipation. The two ran pari passu or concurrently to ensure that the people who live within the state would become the full beneficiaries of that which nature has bequeathed to us. To a large extent, what have we gained from our gold, from our bauxite, from our manganese, from our petrol or fuel, from our timber? What have we gained from our human resource, which is invaluable, but due to lack of conscious leadership, we've not had proper coordination. I followed in on the tape you played concerning a party school by the MPP. Some of us have talked about this for years, both on your platform and on different platforms. Maybe it's a good call. I hope that whilst they push for some of these ideological schools and strategic leadership training and all that, maybe they'll be able to produce leaders who have some weight and capacity and think about the state and are able to really look at democracy from a developmental perspective than from looting and from plundering perspective, as we have seen even in the Fourth Republic.
Prof, talking about the other leg where you mentioned President Akufo-Addo also noted the challenge before the contemporary Ghanaians is to build a modern economy that fosters prosperity and progress, creating a dignified life for all citizens. Do you think that most Ghanaians have a dignified life? If not, how so can we build that?
Not at all. Concerning the real politics, beyond the politics of the president, you would realize that what is happening on the ground is that the kind of meals our students, our pupils are eating, even at the nutritional meal level for the school feeding program, has a lot of questions. Today, there are Ghanaians who have to sit in canoes. Some of them will swim across rivers to go to school, back and forth. There are Ghanaians who have serious economic challenges. They do not meet the basic standards of the economics of things: food, clothing, shelter. And let's add healthcare, even though we have national health insurance. When accessibility is a question, then there are still issues to look at. And I do not speak as a novice. I'm also a historian of health. It's a critical matter if you look at the growth we have made so far in terms of even the kind of differences between those in the rural areas, what they benefit from healthcare, what they benefit from education, what they benefit from infrastructure, as compared to, if you like, cosmopolitan areas like Kumasi, Accra, Tamale, Sekendi, and Takoradi, and all the other big communities. It is so glaring and alarming. Look at a comparative discussion, going forward. Lagos State and Ghana. What is the population of Ghana? Lagos State is about 30 million plus. Ghana is relatively a small country. If our leaders are unable to manage the economy well, for us to live like we are living in paradise, there is much room for improvement. Indeed, we are trailing and trailing woefully. We may have to reapply for admission into the economics of things.
Finally, before I let you go, Prof, talking about trailing, President Akufo-Addo hailed Ghana as a beacon of democracy in West Africa, but we know that in July this year, Sierra Leone overtook us as the most peaceful country in the sub-region. What are we not doing right?
What we are not doing right is that there is lack of interest, first of all, in the state as it concerns the ordinary masses of the people, that are in the country. Secondly, we need to understand that economics is tied to security. Straitjacket thinking is sometimes found within the corridors of power. And we assume that when the economy is not doing well, we will be doing well in terms of measurement of peace and security. There is a need to look at that. Today, the Nigerians have requested, and the ECOWAS is sanctioning them and trying to do so many things. Peace-loving country, Sierra Leone is doing well today, but Sierra Leone almost lost its glimmer of hope. Rwanda, some years ago, almost lost its glimmer of hope. So that there is a thin line between peace and dissonance. And therefore, the state apparatus must be up and doing to do what is right, i.e., in terms of securitization, do what is right and put up their A game at that level. Having said that, when it comes to the developmental trajectory or course of things, government must be responsible to provide the adequate balance to ensure that we have both working together in a kind of synergy that will produce the peace and the outcome of peace we need in our democracy. Ghana should not be tickling itself. There are questions about small arms. I think we have not scored higher points in that area. There are questions about petty thievery or theft and armed robbery. We have not scored so much higher points in that area. It is important we show concerns and let all these indicators, elements, and indices dovetail into the economics of things. And that is the point I'm trying to make.
Prof, I want to thank you so much for your time. We had the Professor Samuel Idujemfu, who is a senior political science lecturer at the Common University of Science and Technology, speaking to us there. Now, moving on to this bulletin, organized labor has accepted a new deal from the Finance Ministry over the use of pension funds as part of the domestic debt exchange program. It has, however, asked individual boards of unions to assess the new offer before signing onto it. Secretary General of TUC and spokesperson for organized labor briefed the media at a closed-door meeting in Accra.
On the 1st of June, government came to do a long presentation. On the basis of that presentation, we thought this is a better offer than the one rejected. But we still could not take decision on whether we should advise the pension funds to engage or to participate, because we had not seen the exchange memorandum. And once the exchange memorandum came and we assessed it, we met with the pension fund trustees, the Chamber of Corporate Trustees, and they said they have also done the analysis and they think that it is something that they are satisfied, because the new offer ensures that there is no loss in the patrimonial value. It is tradable, and also the liquidity will be there. Because you see, the first payment is due on the 22nd of August. And if you don't participate quickly, you may lose that. So all this informed them. So they advised us that they think that it is time for us to work together and for them to use their expertise to assess the new and to participate. But that decision remains with the board. It is not TUC or organized labor which take that decision. But we do not object to, if I want to answer your question, organized labor does not object to the individual corporate trustees, the boards, engaging government, and on the basis of their own assessment, they can go ahead and participate. And it's voluntary. If you're not interested, you don't participate. You can hold your old junk bonds. But it is said that it's better to actually participate in the new bond market.
To some more stories this afternoon, the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, is promoting small fish and its products in the Ghana school feeding programs to combat malnutrition among children. The Deputy Regional Representative for Africa, Dr. Yerdi Yasmi, emphasized the importance of protein in children's diets and the need for nutritious food in schools.
The Ghana School Feeding Program faces challenges in providing nutritious meals for children, ensuring they meet their nutritional needs. A policy brief analyzed the role of small fish and small-scale fisheries value chains in livelihoods, diets and nutrition. The findings led to the creation of technical papers, training manuals and policy briefs advocating for the inclusion of small fish in school-age children's diets.
Scientific evidence indicates that Ghana's fishery stock is untapped nutrition resources, and that fish is essential for ensuring the security of food and nutrition for the most vulnerable population in Ghana. However, fish as part of a healthy diet has not yet been fully explored and integrated into nutrition policy and development priorities.
The Executive Director of the Fisheries Commission, Fred Kwesi Entwi-Buedu, emphasized the importance of fish in children's brain health and cognitive development.
We understand that fish is an essential nutritional element in children's brain health and cognitive development. Therefore, supporting a scientific study to guide us with the policy to include fish in schools' meals is a welcomed development. Small fish holds incredible potential to fight malnutrition and nurture the healthy growth of our children.
The Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Mavis Howard-Kumsin, welcomed the initiative.
The decision to use small fish in diets to improve the nutritional profile of school meals is laudable. As we are aware, the small fish contains the necessary nutrients needed for the development of their body.
The Fisheries Ministry offers post-harvest systems training for the fishing industry to enhance efficiency in processes like smoking, sun-drying, and salting fish.
We're still watching Midday Live from our news hub here at the Salwe Kanda in Accra. We have more stories for you after this break. Don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Am I not forgetting something?
Yes, obviously. Flora Mimi.
Thank you. Can I use the washroom, please?
Sure. Flora disposable handkerchief.
You obviously aren't using Flora tissues, my dear, because the Flora tissues, they are soft and easy on the skin and they leave no particles. Are you okay? Do you want to use the washroom?
Yes.
Okay, come on.
Hey, broke uncle. I will tell Auntie.
Fachemi, I just love how it feels.
Are you ready to win solid cash every day with Cash Out? Be a proud winner of lots of cash simply by watching or listening to any of Media General stations. That's right, you are being rewarded for your loyalty. Tune in to all Media General brands. TV3, 3FM 92.7, Onia TV, Onia FM 95.1, all in Accra, Akuma FM 87.9 in Kumasi, and Connect FM 97.1 in Takrady. To enter the Cash Out raffle on your favorite Media General station, just dial *439#. Follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform to enter. Voila! You are now eligible to become one of the 10 lucky winners of a cool cash prize. Remember, this is every day, all day on your favorite Media General station. Cash out and win big! This is in partnership with Radio Entertainment Limited. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the annual culinary
prestigious institutions here in Ghana. We are done with Group A. This week is the turn of Group B.
It's a war because your school fee could. Let's go back and yakasa.
Oswa. Yahweh. Oswa. Yahweh. Kobo is shining.
Oh, yes.
Kobo is shining.
Oh, yes.
Zimpa.
Yes,
good name.
It's better than Rachel.
Good name.
It's better than Rachel.
You close it. Let me.
The roof is on fire. Open fire service.
We'll be represented here to face the heat in the kitchen. Who makes their school proud? Join us this Sunday. My name is Cookie. It is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2 shows Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
And Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye Ono Soko.
PGL.
All sporting disciplines matter on Warm Up Plus.
Warm Up Plus, the most exciting hour on TV. So join the conversation and get updated.
Get sports news, visit exciting places, and be in the know on Warm Up Plus. Let's go, Diana.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting warmed up.
Catch me, Yao Ufusulabi.
And me, Aniela Alote.
Warm Up Plus, new season coming soon on TV3.
Welcome back to the program. Now, there is an ongoing demolition exercise at the 37 Drivers and Licensing Authority area, where we understand that several houses, mainly makeshift structures, have been affected. The police barracks and DVLA offices have also been earmarked for demolition. And you can see in those pictures the demolition exercise currently ongoing at the 37 DVLA area, where makeshift structures have been demolished there. And we also know that the police barracks and DVLA offices have been earmarked for demolition as well. We're working the phone lines to connect with our reporter on the ground, Richard Bright Addo, for more on this. Richard, many thanks for your time. What more can you report? Richard, can you hear me? What can you report, Richard? Do we know why the demolition exercise is underway?
What we are told is that there's a private developer who has come and taken over the land and has started demolishing structures. There are several structures on this so many acres of land. And what we understand is that the DPLA office here is affected, and then the police barracks here will be affected as well. What it means is that there's been a notice that was given to the occupants here. So we have what we call the road for people who do a lot of the number plates and traffic aids, and then registering the cars for people. They are also here. And then we have staff of aviation who are occupying aspects of the land here. And all these people have been told or been told several days or weeks that they should relocate. We have also gathered that, 4 months ago, the president committed a new building around the hospital. So the plan of the government is to relocate the DPLA and for that matter, the aviation staff or people with the installation, and then the police have been directed to move to that area. So the people are specified there. And so there's still a notice that was given that it looks like the occupants here are adamant and they haven't moved yet. So for the few people who have been able to move or relocate, they are safe. But no structure is safe here. They have reduced everything here to that extent. I think still here, and to have electricity officials also here who are demolishing, who are disconnecting the fall and the
okay. I want to thank you so much for your time. My colleague there, Richard Bright, coming to us from the 37 area where we understand that demolition exercise is ongoing. And we also know that, the police barracks there has also been earmarked for demolition as well. We'll definitely keep an eye on this particular development, and we'll be updating you subsequently right here on TV3. Now, the Transport Ministry is working to introduce electric and gas-powered buses for public transport. The Minister for Transport, Al-Hassan Suleiman Tampuli, who made this known at a consultative meeting, noted that mobility policy to guide electric vehicle deployment and scaling up is being developed.
The Minister emphasized the focus on road transport services transitioning from petrol and diesel to a finer alternative to reduce carbon emissions. He said government is committed to facilitating a gradual transmission to electric vehicles, EVs, and implementing a rollout plan to benefit the transport sector and other key players.
That what happens to the existing over 4,000 petrol stations across the country. And these stations would not immediately fold up because the policy is not just going to be started like tomorrow. It will take us a bit of time, and from all indication, from 2030, 2040 going, that's quite some time. And I'm sure, we are not immediately going to have EVs across the country. So definitely people will still consume, petroleum products.
He outlined measures for transition, including tariff adjustment for ICE vehicle imports, and emphasized the draft policies regulations for a sustainable rollout.
We are working in close collaboration with all the various stakeholders so that we'll be able to get a soft landing, as far as the policy is concerned. When we are taking off, we take off smoothly and then we land smoothly.
The draft policy aims to promote sustainable EV demand, establish regulatory frameworks, develop human resources, manage industrial waste, ensure health and safety, and support research.
Well, Kelvin Osuansa is primed and ready to bring us all the latest in sports after this break. Don't go away.
It wasn't always this easy. When I was 26, I got my first chance to perform a surgery.
Can I have a selfie? Thank you so much.
So I was holding the scalpel. My hands were trembling.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I have your autograph, please? Sorry, sir.
Yes, go on.
Well, then, as soon as the senior surgeon entered the OT, Yes, Dr. Matur. I'll be there in 30 minutes. It's an important surgery. Rain check?
Sure.
They are in love. But will they be able to adjust?
Eternal Love shows Tuesdays to Fridays at 6 p.m. only on TV3.
Brought to you by Out Multi-Purpose Insecticide Spray and Quell.
What do you men want? What do you want?
We want women.
You want women?
We want women.
Ade. You want women? What am I to you? Come what am I to you?
You are a woman.
Meyere, to me confirm Manchester the Betunzum.
Chester, what up, brother?
Medo, Joda, 11:59.
Ubrezi ana usi hata hamana so hono. Akoromfo be fa en wahu. Mi hu yo. Timi de say ona hamana yesi. Tumu say hamana ye nipa nko be kasa. One side pe.
Auntie B, me se me ko wo fufuo no e wo soro ho. To your back to say me. Ashi gogo. Nana ma go top.
Top coat. Odium pepepe.
Method. Malaria game changer no.
Raffle Coast, a chance to win big. Wallet, Yabatao.
Kid syrup, and Mama Freddy tea.
Efiera, this and every Friday at 8:30 p.m. on TV3.
Bangawego.
After beautiful unveiling of this year's 16 regional representatives of Ghana's Most Beautiful, the contestants are faced with their very first task of storytelling. They will embrace the age-old tradition of storytelling, where every word carries the potential to transport us to new realms of enchantment. In this quest for narrative brilliance, our contestants have not only prepared stories that tug at their heartstrings, but also stories that ignite the spark of inspiration. Join us from the studios of TV3 this Sunday at 8 p.m. Keep your contestants in the competition by dialing *713*13# or download the TV3 reality app to vote.
GMB 2023 is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, GTP, Techno Common 20 Series, AT, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula, Geisha Moringa and Geisha Black Soup, Key Soap, Bell Pack Tissues, Sankofa Natural Spices, Vitamilk, Deluxe Acrylic Paint, Nescofa Blood Tonic, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Enapa Foods, Freedom from Casapreco,
Frutelli Calipo,
Duffy's Health and Beauty, Obuasi Bitters, Nubuna Womwankasa, Dragnet, Top Choco, Global Wings Travel and Tour.
Makeup was done by House of Tara.
Welcome back. Time now for sports with Kelvin Oswans. And Kelvin, I know that's one of the most anticipated matches has to do with that Community Shield between Manchester City and Arsenal, which also means that football season is back.
Well, yes, it's now time for the girlfriends to hand over the remote.
Absolutely.
So hopefully on Sunday we get back to action.
Take it away.
Well, it's now time for sports here on Middle Life. My name is Kelvin Oswans. Let's get straight into our stories. And Pep Guardiola is speaking to the press ahead of the Community Shield this Sunday in England. The City Boss has opened up about whether he'll try to sign more players before securing defender Josko Vadio.
Regarding him, he's doing a medical test, so everybody knows he's here, and hopefully we can finish the deal in the next hours, next days. And regarding Kyle and Bernardo, what could I say? So they are so important player for us. We want him yes or yes. We are going to do everything to, of course, he is not like Gundo, like finish the contract, he has contract, so, but we want him to stay because he want to stay. And yeah, we will do everything because replace these two players is so difficult. We lost two incredible players for us, like Ilkay and Riyad, like in the last seasons were massively important, incredible goals, assists and personalities in the big stages and big important games. And lose Kyle and Bernardo will be so difficult, and that's why we are going to do everything to keep them, and because they want, because they want really.
Well, another defender has been signed this time around in London, and France international Axel Disasi has joined Chelsea from Monaco on a 6-year contract for €45 million. Disasi, who is 25, offers defensive cover at Stamford Bridge after Wesley Fofana sustained a serious knee injury. He played in all 38 games for Monaco in the Ligue 1. I am really proud to be able to be a part of this great family, Disasi told Chelsea's website. I hope to achieve very big things here to win titles. I'll do everything I can to achieve those objectives. I am very ambitious. Disasi has played 4 times for France, including featuring as a substitute in the 2022 World Cup final defeat against Argentina, and made 129 appearances for Monaco after joining from Stade de Reims in August 2020. The centre-back becomes Chelsea's 6th signing of the summer. Now, very few people have been able to beat cancer, and one person who joins this list is American-Ghanaian sprinter and author Prince Mowbray. After beating cancer, the athlete is back in the country in a quest to boost his chances to compete in the Paris 2024 Olympics. 3 Sports' Frank Champon has more in this report.
At age 4, Prince Marbury had a dream not just to run but to win a medal at the Olympics. He grew up in Brooklyn, New York until age 8 when his family moved to Irvington in New Jersey, where his artistic and athletic gifts began to flourish. Living in downtown New York, the ever-demanding living conditions meant that Marbury had limited funds to support his dreams. With what he describes as a childhood dream seemingly drifting away, he turned to selling drugs to fulfill the dream. However, luck eluded him one day and was sentenced to 60 years in prison. He served a bit of his time and is back in Ghana after the cases were dropped. Marbury still has his dream intact, and this time hitting all the right notes.
The key is to be humble and submissive to those who know more than you. When I have a coach here in Ghana, I make sure I listen to everything he says and pay attention to the small details. When I go back to Miami with my coach, I make sure I listen to everything he says. I was facing 60 years in jail when I was in university for drug dealing. And that was the first major moment that I had to test my faith in Jesus Christ. And the same as the cancer, I was so much faithful in Christ that my friends, my family, they all thought, this is the end of your life, you're going to go to jail for 60 years. But I kept faith for 2.5 years.
He is not giving up anytime soon and is motivated enough to pull this through.
If you believe in your dream and you continue to be consistent, if it's your destiny to break a world record or to be #1 in the world, you'll get it. You just have to block away all the noise and focus on the mission and your goal.
Well, there's more sports news on 3news.com as well as 3sportsGH across all the social media handles. My name is Kelvin Osuansa. Entertainment news is next.
Is here with all the latest in the world of entertainment. Ajay, what's up?
Well, we have a new addition to the family. Definitely excitement is everywhere. DJ Faculty also has his maiden event tomorrow. So we have something little on that. So let's get into the details of our entertainment news here. On Monday Live, my name is Noella Donko. Now, affable and award-winning media personality, Na Ashoko Mensah Doku is the latest addition to the Media General family. The experienced actress is not just elated about the move. She looks forward to an exciting adventure with the Media General group. She spoke on New Day this morning.
I moved from TV Africa to Chatterhouse, and then GH1 Chatterhouse, and then GH1.
Yeah.
And then I went to radio on Star FM, then I moved to Joy FM, then I moved to Asasi Radio, and I'm happy to be home now at TV3.
Faculty!
Yeah, Faculty is always on point.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's been a
That's
long,
amazing.
interesting journey.
Yes,
and in
yes.
all that you've done radio, you've done TV.
Yes.
Which one would you say brings out the best in you?
Oh, I've always loved TV, Bella. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Television allows you to super express yourself. Radio doesn't, well, nowadays because of social media, we see you.
Yeah.
But, you know, radio doesn't give you that visual effect. Television does. And so I think that if I'm to choose one, it would be tough, but both of them present their advantages. That I love TV because it was my first love. It was my first adventure into media. I must say kudos to the team here at Media General. It will seem to me that every step and every move you've taken has been in the right direction. I started watching TV3 when TV3 started. So that's a long time ago, from TV3 to Adisa Way to TV3. And in recent times, what I have come to admire about TV3 is the women empowerment here. I see every day women rising here, from your CEO to your recent general manager to the women on TV. All your exploits with women have been very encouraging for me and many young women in media, because there was a time when if you looked at the media landscape, it would seem at the time that a lot of people in leadership and a lot of people who got the good opportunities in media were men. But now things are changing, times are changing, and it's great to see TV3 lead in that direction. So I'm happy to be here and to be part of the story, I hope, as we go forward. Well, to everyone, I'll say, first of all, thank you for the encouragement and support and the love that I have received from you from the start of my journey through till now. Since the announcement at 7:15 a.m., I cannot tell you the number of messages I've had to reply and the number of messages and calls I've had to take. Thank you so much. As I'm here now, I ask for your continued support and encouragement. I promise to bring you my all and some. And I look forward to going on this adventure with all of you. Thank you.
Now to some more stories. 3FM's finest disc jockey, DJ Faculty, has called on event organizers to appreciate the craft of DJing in Ghana. Now, in an interview with 3 Entertainments, the talented DJ said there's a huge potential for DJs in Ghana, and he also shared details of his upcoming maiden concert dubbed Rhythms and Vibes.
Born Linus Danso, DJ Faculty, as he's popularly known, has carved a unique niche for himself and has become one of the most sought-after DJs after years of hard work and consistency. At what point did you get that big break?
Okay, so I can say the big break came 2018 when I came for 3FM Jam in 10. And I got the opportunity to be on radio. I think the bosses recognized it and they gave me the shot. Yo, do it. And this is me now.
But when it comes to your craft, you make it look so effortless and you're able to think on your feet and get all of the sounds. People actually think there's some juju in there. How do you do it?
And the juju. One thing I keep saying is, if you're working, pay close attention to who you're working with. I always listen. And it is the listening that makes it so easy for me. If you listen, you know what you're doing. But when you are working and then you are distracted, you are paying attention to other stuff, trust me, you're not going to get it.
He has also played on some major festivals and concerts in Ghana and outside.
Well, DJ Faculty will be having his maiden event, that's tomorrow, at Shield Lounge inside East Airport. So make sure you come through. Just go on his social media pages to get the details and how you can, book some tickets and be an RSVP. That's how we wrap up on the entertainment news segment here on Midday Live. My name is Noella Donko. Up next is international news.
Niger's ousted leader has urged the U.S. and the entire international community to help restore constitutional order after last week's coup. In an opinion piece in the Washington Post, President Mohamed Bazoum said he was writing as a hostage. He also warned that the region could fall further under Russian influence via the Wagner Group, which already operates in neighboring countries. Niger's West African neighbors have threatened military intervention. On Thursday, the coup leaders announced they were withdrawing the country's ambassadors from France, the US, Nigeria, and Togo. In a statement read out on national television, they said the functions of the 4 ambassadors had been terminated.
And that's it for international, and that's how we wrap up the news here on Midday Live. You can find more news when you log onto our website. It's 3news.com. I am Emmanuel Samani. Take care of yourself, be well, and enjoy your holiday. Bye-bye.